Hello students, welcome back. We are in the part 3 of human health and disease. Today we are going to see the fungal disease, helminthes disease, and the other part of the chapter, immunity and how does the immunity helps the body. First of all, we'll see the fungal disease. One of the disease which is there in our curriculum is the ringworm. You might have heard, you might have seen on the television ad also about the ringworm. It is caused by the fungus of genera Microsporium, Trichophyton, and Epidermophyton. Human infection either occurs through contact with the infected person or from the soil. It is also spread through towels, clothes, utensils, combs of infected person if you are sharing out that. Heat and moisture helps the fungus to grow, that makes them to thrive in the skin folds like in the groin or in between the toes, in such areas where fungus can comfortably grow. If you find the symptoms, dry and scaly lesions on skin, nails and scalp. Lesions are accompanied by intense itching. So there is intense itching, redness, dry skin, lesions are there. These are common things which you observe on your skin, and it is always a fungal disease. We have one disease in our curriculum. Then we'll come to the helminthic disease. Helminthic disease, we have two examples. One is the ascaris, second is the elephantiasis, which we also called as the filariasis. Ascaris, it is caused by intestinal endoparasite of human. It is caused by an intestinal endoparasite of human. So endo means inside, parasite means any organism which lives in the intestine. Ascaris lubricoides, commonly called as roundworms, that is the organism which caused this ascariasis. Now what actually happened? The eggs of these parasites, which are excreted from the feces of the infected person, which are contaminated with either water or the soil or plants, and then it gets spread. So infection takes place through contaminated vegetables, fruits, water. What are the symptoms? If you see the symptoms, it has abdominal pain. Obviously, intestine, if they are infecting, so pain will be there in the abdominal region. Indigestion, internal bleeding, muscular pain, body pain is obviously connected with that. Fever, anemia, nausea, headache, blockage of the intestinal passage. These are the common things or symptoms which you find in ascariasis. The other disease which we are going to see is filariasis, which we call as elephantiasis. It is again caused by filarial worms like Wucheria bancrofti, Wucheria malai. You might have studied this in class 9th. The female Culex mosquito is a vector for this disease. Symptoms: inflammation of organs in which they live. Inflammation has 5 different things. You say swelling, redness, heat, pain, fever, everything. So it's big swelling on the organs where it has been infected, that is inflammation. So blockage of the lymph vessel, especially of the lower limb, resulting in the swelling of that organ. So most of the time you find that the legs get swollen and it looks like elephant's leg. That thickness you might have seen if in the images or some of the diagrams mentioned in your book. So lower limb appear like leg of elephant, and thus the name is elephantiasis. Even the genital organs also may be affected, leading to deformation. So that is all about the elephantiasis and ascariasis. Both are helminthic disease. Ringworm we have seen of fungal disease. Now we will come to the different than the disease part. How can we prevent this disease? How can we control this disease, especially the infectious disease? So we have categorized into three different mode by which we can either control or prevent the infectious disease. The first, the disease which are transmitted through food and water like typhoid, amoebiasis and ascariasis. The disease which are transferred by food, water. Okay. So typhoid is one of them, amoebiasis is one of them, and ascariasis is one of them. So what you can do, you can have a good personal hygiene, keeping the body clean, consuming clean drinking water, food, vegetables and fruits. First thing. Second, you can do maintenance of the public hygiene also, especially the disposal of the waste and the excreta, periodic cleaning, disinfection of the water reservoirs, pools, tanks, then standard practice of hygiene in public, so that all things you can manage it out. So both public and personal hygiene can help you out in this thing. Then second, especially with airborne disease, pneumonia, common cold, in that case you have to have a personal hygiene, public hygiene, and close contact with infected person or their belongings should be avoided. You cannot sit with a person who has a common cold, because there will be an aerosol, that is the air droplets, and it will go in your body and definitely it will affect the things. Then the third method is vector-borne disease. We have vectors which carry the organism and infect the human being. So malaria is one of them, filariasis is another, chikungunya. So many of them are there. So what can be done? We have to eradicate the vectors, especially the breeding place. We can use mosquito nets, repellents, whatever sources you can use. You have to use the sources so the vectors are eradicated or they are not in contact with human and you are free from the disease. So these are the three different methods by which you will find how we can control the disease, or at least we can prevent the disease. Then we have another topic, immunity. But before we go with that, control and prevention is having two important words called vaccination and immunization. We'll see that in immunity also. Vaccination and immunity definitely helps to control many diseases, especially when we have programs for the disease like polio, diphtheria, tetanus. These are all the programs which government is running and we are having a good benefit of that. We have antibiotics and drugs, that also we are going to see in the immunity part also. So we have vaccination, immunization, antibiotic, drugs, then we have airborne disease, how we can control the vectors, then we have personal hygiene also, aerosols we can control, then we have different methods like food and water borne disease, how we can control it. Now we have important topic, very important. But before we go to that part, I have promised that I will help you to revise the life cycle of the plasmodium. So I have a diagram with me and I will be explaining how exactly it will be. Life cycle of the plasmodium. So we will have that and I will be showing you